Welcome to Yes You Can TV. This is Apostle Ruben Martinez from Cornerstone Ministries in Staten Island. I have two guests here with me today, Ralph Menar from New Jersey and Paul Nickerson. I want to thank you for coming to Yes You Can TV. I want to ask you questions about what you are doing in the community. So please tell me and tell the audience what you are doing.
Well, Ruben, we started a youth basketball program called the World Basketball Ambassadors Club. And we're trying to teach the children how to be ambassadors. But we're also, the main goal of the World Basketball Ambassadors Club is to bring children from different ethnic backgrounds together to enjoy a sport like basketball, but to understand that we all have to live together. And through the game of basketball, they have fun. And they realize not their differences in their nationalities, but their similarities as people.
Oh, great. Paul, what's your take on this?
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having us. My take is we're all unified through the sport we love.
Okay.
So no matter what race you're from, no matter what neighborhood you're from, no matter what country you're from, we're all unified through basketball. We love basketball. So our goal at the World Basketball Ambassadors Club is to continue to create that harmony with our children through the sport we love, and not only teach them skills on the court, but teach them skills off the court that can help them excel in life.
Okay, so you're teaching them skills on the court, and you're teaching them skills off the court. I need to ask the question, how did this come about?
Well, Ruben, for years I've been bringing what they call Neo-Ricans, as a person who is Puerto Rican, but they grew up in New York, and their parents were born in Puerto Rico, or their grandparents, or even themselves. And I've been bringing them to Puerto Rico because I played in Puerto Rico for about 13 years. By doing that, I would find out, sometimes ask a kid if he was Puerto Rican and find out he might have been Panamanian or Dominican or from Honduras. And I was able to send several players to those countries as well. So one day a friend of mine asked me, he said, what would you really like to do? And I said, being here in New York, the melting pot, I'd like to bring all of these kids together and give them an opportunity to play for their country of their ancestors. And what I mean by that is, although we have our league here, we've been in a conversation with FIBA, and we're accredited with USA Basketball. And these kids, by playing for us, they have an opportunity to play for the national teams of their ancestors. Myself, I was able to play with the Puerto Rico national team. When I played in Puerto Rico, of course, my parents were born over there. Not every kid over here in the United States is going to be good enough to play for the United States team, so we're trying to give them opportunities to play abroad. Like Paulie mentioned, our program just doesn't focus on basketball. We're giving kids the opportunities to see the whole gamut of what it takes to run a basketball event. So we're teaching kids how to be sports journalists, to become cameramen by learning video, to become photographers with photography, statisticians by handling the books.
Okay, so you're taking it and you're teaching them the full aspects of the game.
Absolutely.
The game is just not playing it. The game is learning about how it starts, what pieces make the game, and how important, no matter how minute those pieces are, they're very important. What do you have to say, Paul?
Right, absolutely. I think that it's important for children not only to understand the fundamentals of the game, but also the way a game could take you. And Ralph has known me for over 20-something years. He told me he had a vision. How it started, he told me he had a vision. This is maybe about 3-4 years ago. He said, I'm going to let you know when it's time to roll. And he let me know, and from day one, I think we just hit the ground running. It's something new. It's something fresh. A lot of kids that we serve, they come from different backgrounds where they're not able to meet different kids from different ethnicities. So by bringing them all together, we're not only exposing them to a different world outside of the neighborhood, but we're also giving them an opportunity, like Ralph said, to later on in life have an opportunity to compete for their national team, national country.
Tell me how you and Paul got together, and Paul just said that you had a vision. Tell us about this vision.
Well, once again, like I was saying, the vision was to why only have a select group of kids? We're here in New York. It's the melting pot of the world. And right now we started off with 6 teams last summer that represented Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, Panama, Jamaica, the Philippines, and China. We've incorporated 4 more teams on already that will be representing the United States, Israel, the Ukraine, and Cuba. Okay, so we're growing. The way I see my vision with all the nationalities here, that we can have by next year 50 teams, following year maybe 100 teams with all the people here. And what we're doing is, like I said, the real thing is the fact that we're bringing kids from different ethnic backgrounds together to enjoy the company with each other.
Now this is great because it takes the youth. It takes the youth off the street.
Right.
It also, from hearing what you're saying, it also gives them an opportunity to look at life through a different lens. Okay? See, what happens is if you don't see life in a lens, then there's no expectancy. When you see something, it's not, sometimes it could be for the present time, but sometimes when we see something, when we have a vision, the vision could be for the future. So listening to you and understanding what you are saying is that this eventually is going to, the future of this is going to be big. It's not small.
Exactly.
So your vision is big and your vision is not small. Your vision is within the community, but also I'm understanding, and for the audience to understand what you're doing, is that this is not just to be local, but you want to take this out of the city and take it into different countries.
We're talking global.
You're talking global, okay.
Absolutely.
So you want to take this to the world.
Exactly. That's
Wow.
why we called ourselves the
This-
World Basketball Ambassadors Club.
World Basketball Ambassadors Club. You've heard, you hear that. World Basketball Ambassadors Club. This is Apostle Martinez. We're going to take a short break right now. Don't move, and we will be right back. Hi, this is Apostle Ruben Martinez. We're back here with our guests, Ralph Menar and Paul Nickerson, and we're talking about their organization that they have formed, World Basketball Ambassadors Club. Ralph, tell us how you have incorporated God into this World Basketball Ambassadors Club.
Well, Ruben, first of all, God is the one who really gave me the vision.
Okay, God gave you the vision.
Yes, he definitely did. He said, hey, pursue this because this is what is needed, especially in the world that we're living in right now. Every day you put the news on TV, you're seeing that there's a division going on. There's fighting and, unrest throughout America, okay? And we're making an effort, and that's all we can actually do is to bring it together. And with the help of God, there's no better leader that I could have to help me on this mission and on this vision of completing this.
Okay, tell the audience, and how God spoke to you, and how He helped guide you and develop this.
Well, to be honest with you, I get up every morning and I speak to God. And I thank Him just for waking me up every morning. That's the first thing. And I ask Him to give me the strength to go on and make another day. I know I'm not a perfect human being, but He gives me the strength to make the right decisions.
Okay.
And a long time in my life, God wasn't even a part of my life. and it led me in
Oh, this is interesting.
in a negative way. Okay,
Okay.
so God came into my life. Certain things happened in my life for reasons that I don't even know, like accidents and things like that. And once He came into my life has been a lot better.
Great,
Okay.
great, great. So God gives you, if I'm hearing correct, God gives you this vision. God speaks to you. How did the name World Basketball Ambassadors Club come to being?
Well, we're bringing the teams from all over, trying to get everybody from all over the world. So we have another gentleman who's down with our board, and his name is Mike Roberts. And
Okay.
Mike is a marketing major from Cornell University. He used to play basketball there. And he's the one who actually thought of World Basketball Ambassadors Club. But we're trying to make these kids, we always used to bring it up beforehand, we're trying to make them into ambassadors. We're trying to teach them really how to act right. We don't want kids in our program who, even when we played our first couple of games, we told them, hey, you got to look sharp, take your undershirts off unless they match the colors of your uniforms. We want you to look right. And if we're going to go overseas and play overseas against other countries, you're representing not only the country you come from, but God.
Okay, wow, that's awesome. Representing God. Paul, what do you have to say about this?
I mean,
And tell us how Ralph got you involved.
well, I told you, he told me he had a vision,
Yes.
and we're both unified through our love for God. No doubt about it. We're both very faithful people. We come from faithful backgrounds. So, like Ralph said, with me personally, my day starts and ends with God.
Okay.
Period. And I knew that through this vision that Ralph had, I knew that we were going to be able to impact a lot of people, not only in New York City, but across the world. And it just so happens that, you know, a lot of the youth that we serve, their breakthrough is associated with our assignment.
Well, you just said something that's very important.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pick up on a word that you said, breakthrough.
Right.
That's one of the most important things that we miss. And it takes mentors like yourselves
Right.
to help the youth get the breakthroughs that they need that's going to help further and push them into their future, okay, that's going to make life a little bit much more easier for them. Mm-hmm. How do you, Paul, give this youth, the youth that you work with, how do you give them this understanding?
The main thing is by talking to them. It's about sharing those experiences. I've traveled the world. Basketball has afforded me the opportunity to travel the world, get a free college education, and I explain that to them. I explain that one basketball with faith can change their life and change their family's life. And it's one thing that myself and Ralph always talk about. We talk about how God is using us to help other people, and that's what life is about. So many people that we serve, like I said, their breakthrough is associated with our assignment. So we have to be on our A game every day.
That's awesome. See, I see you two, and I thank God for you. And
Thank you.
What I see, what I understand, is I see youth ministry. I see youth ministries in you. I spoke to Ralph about this a couple of years back. But it is so ungiving of yourselves that you give your time, because I know you have to put a lot of time into this. If you have a family, you got to take care of your family. You got to work, okay? But giving your time up voluntarily for the youth, it says a whole lot about who you are and what you represent and how you represent and what you believe. You believe in God. You believe in the community. You believe in the youth. That's awesome. Ralph, what do you have to say about all this?
It's no doubt everything that you're saying is he's my pilot. He's
Okay.
he's
He's your
my
pilot.
chauffeur,
Chauffeur.
and he's the one who's directing me and where to go. Okay, and right now at this moment, he's directed me to bring people like Paulie on board. As you know, Ruben, I'm basically your age, and you know, I needed to bring people on board who have a younger frame of mind. Someone like Paulie, my own daughter Shayna, Emilio Martinez is another one who's
Okay.
my age, more or less, but he has a love for the game of basketball. Okay, we have Bill McNamara, who grew up with me. Bill was a tremendous athlete at Port Richmond High School back in our days when he was a big track star, but he ended up getting shot when I was in college. We were college roommates, and he got shot, and he was paralyzed, and he is such a big example for me of somebody who just never gave up.
Let's hold that right now.
Okay.
We're going to come right back, and we're going to pick up on this conversation when we come back. So stay there, don't move, as we will come right back. Hi, this is Apostle Ruben Martinez. We're back here with our guests, Ralph Menar and Paul Nickerson, and we're going to continue the conversation. Ralph, continue from the point that you was talking about your friend McNamara, your roommate at St. John's.
Well, like I said, Bill actually went to Long Island University, and I was in St. John's, but we were living together in Queens. And he was a A student, summa cum laude, and he had a full-time job as a housing police officer. And while I was playing basketball in Puerto Rico, I just left to play. Angelo Ponte, who's also been very helpful to us with the World Basketball Ambassadors Club, gave me a call, and he told me that my roommate had been shot and paralyzed. And I rushed home, and it was a real sad time in my life. But one thing that Bill has showed me is that you never give up. He actually went from being a star athlete, he studied phys ed, to changing his master's to finance and accountant, and he became one of the big employees at Bristol Myers for years. But he's the one who handles our money. He's the treasurer for World Basketball.
Okay.
So I brought in people who are like family to me to assist, and
Right.
people that I know, and all the basketball people that I know, and they were able to understand my mission and what I was about to do, along with Chris Orgeese from Crane 11, who they represent us legally, pro bono. We're able to get this thing off the road and start going.
Well, that's great. Paul,
Yes,
please tell the audience, since the birthing of the World Basketball Ambassadors Club, tell the audience what it has done for you personally.
Wow. I think that, it further showed me what I touched on earlier, that, our assignment, people are impacted by that.
Okay.
And it's not only our family, it's not only our friends, it's the kids that we're serving. Just recently we had a few of our student athletes receive scholarships to attend different high schools and universities across the country. And we're less than a year in.
Okay.
So that shows me that God is working through us.
Okay.
That God's vision and God's impact not only on our lives is becoming a blessing for others, and they're starting to live in our overflow.
Okay.
So, it's not some type of theory that I'm thinking, oh, God is working. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it right before my eyes.
Okay.
Kids are getting opportunities. Things are happening.
You're seeing this.
Absolutely.
That's awesome when you can actually see. One of the most important things that I know is when you get a vision, and when the vision comes to fruition, and you get to see what you saw first,
Right.
and you see it working, happening right before you. I don't know about you, but I get excited. I'm excited for you guys.
Thank you.
I'm very excited for World
Appreciate it.
Basketball Associate Basketball Club. Excuse me, I had it wrong there.
World Basketball Ambassadors Club.
World Basketball Ambassadors Club. So I'm very excited for you. Ralph, can you please tell the audience the hard work that you've put into this, and please tell us some of the people that are involved that are donating to this.
Well, we're very fortunate to have Shabani, that sponsored the Olympics this summer, as our first sponsors. And Shabani gave us something to get started, and it wasn't a big bundle, but it was enough to get us going. And we were so appreciative of what they gave us, okay? And we have people like Kicks USA, which is a small sneaker store, basically, that they're in Jersey and they're coming to New York. They also gave us something. But I had personal friends who have construction businesses, such as Joey Ravello. He gave us a donation for both events that we did. And, it just got us going. And now we're looking to see how we can get some more donations of course, we know we're growing, and we've had different countries make invitations for us to already take trips to Jamaica and Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, the Philippines. So China as well. We got an invitation to go to China. So
all this is going to take finances.
No
Absolutely.
doubt.
It's going to take finances. I'm going to say to the audience right now that we're going to give you information so that you could sow a seed into the World Ambassadors Basketball Club. I need you to support this World Basketball Ambassadors Club because the youth need it and they need it, and the only way is by your sowing a seed. Tell us how they can get in contact with you.
Well, they could go on our website, www.wbac.org. You can find out all the information about what we've done. You can see our highlight video of some of our events from this past year. And you can also check us out on Facebook at World Basketball Ambassadors Club, and the same name as well on Instagram and Twitter. And just to touch on what Ralph touched on before, we did a lot with a little in 2016. But we also had some former NBA players who supported us as well.
Wow, look at that. You've had some former NBA players come and help out. I got to say this much, watch this. God does much with little.
Absolutely.
Okay? And it's how we bring it. I see the sincerity in you, which is very important. The other thing is that you bring class to what you're doing. And this helps the youth, okay, when they see people that really care for them and love them and show them the love, because they see right through us, okay? I'm going to take a moment right here very quickly, and this is my first book that I've authored, Out of the Miry Clay Onto the Rock of My Salvation, which can be purchased on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. So I want to thank you for coming to the show, okay? And prayerfully, with God's grace, we're going to bring you back.
Absolutely.
We're going to bring you back because this is exciting. Another year's coming up, and you've got a whole lot to say. So this is Apostle Ruben Martinez, my guests, Ralph Menar and Paul Nickerson. We want to thank them for coming, and we want to thank you, the audience, for watching and supporting Yes You Can TV. And don't forget to sow your seeds to Yes You Can TV. You can sow your seeds on cornerstoneministries.com. Thank you, and God bless you.